So, hey guys, welcome back to Across the Pond. Today is a little bit different than usual. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, no, we got Rye Guy back in his chair. Tell us to look at the camera like it's a video, but it's actually a podcast. But yes, there is obviously a video aspect. So, hey guys, I'm Edward. This is my guest Cailey. She was on here about 2 weeks ago.
I was.
For those of you who are listening on the normal platform, obviously you can't see us. Poor you. That's
You're blind.
what? What? Kaylee's losing it. It's 11. Oh, my alarm's gonna go off in 10 minutes. I'm gonna give this to Ryan to silence when it goes off. But yeah, no, it's 11:30 on the same night that we recorded the first episode with Cailey. So here we are 2 weeks later. I know last time we just handed it over to you. It was kind of your go-to.
And I bet they all missed me.
You know what?
Honestly.
I'm sure they did. Here's Cailey in the flesh. Just kidding. For those of you who are listening at home, I have to keep remembering that a lot of people will not be viewing this on YouTube. So
What if you have more viewers on YouTube?
I'd be surprised considering at this point in time I have yet to make the YouTube channel. So.
That's an excellent point.
But I'll link it in the description of the online one so you guys can all look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to like do a takeover again? Do you want to just go for it and host
we
it,
kind of already
or
started it.
I know, but I can transfer the baton or the baton.
How?
That's like a YouTube special. So you can't. Okay. Sorry for anyone in YouTube who had to see that. And to those of you listening at home, you have no clue what happened, so that's incentive because it was just a sight for sore eyes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes, it'll probably be Across the Pond podcast. I'm thinking
Probably.
that's the go-to.
Yeah. And if not, there will probably be a link. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
She's not wrong, ladies
Alright.
and gents. The woman is not wrong. So to kick it off, I know we finished the first episode and then we spent maybe an hour looking for a song.
I'd say, yeah, an hour
Maybe
at
a bit
least.
less. But that song is the song that you will have heard in the beginning of this podcast. In fact, what's it called again? Like
Habanera.
Habanera by Bissot or
No,
Bizot or something.
It'll be linked.
It'll be linked. We'll link that as well. I'm gonna have to remember this because I'm gonna forget to link something.
If it's not linked, it's not linked.
It's
Sorry.
not. Yeah.
Look it up.
Sorry, dude. Sucks. But yeah, so we spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to find this song. Cailey eventually found it on some random YouTube channel for piano.
It's not random. It's amazing.
It is good,
Everyone should
actually.
Go look him up.
Link it. Link it in the description.
We'll link it. I actually don't know his name because it's Russian, so I
It's-
can't
yeah.
pronounce it. But like, if you look up 10 Russian songs that you didn't know the name of,
Yeah, it's. Oh no, French. 10
any
French
of them,
songs.
like
Oh
there's
yeah, but-
German,
yeah.
American, and like he's just a really good.
Or like
pianist.
songs from movies. It's pretty good stuff.
I
He always like plays the piano and he's like looking over here at the camera.
my favorite is how he starts with just like the finger up and then
He like
it's
he-
amazing.
the first time I saw him, I thought he was gonna be terrible at piano, and then he
Really?
holds a finger up because he's like in tuxedo, and I thought like, oh, like bless him, like he's not gonna be
Yeah.
super
No,
good at
I
this.
think it's so like he's so good. Like,
No, he's amazing. No, yeah,
I
but
think
like just from appearance, like judging a book by its
Really?
cover, which obviously you
I
shouldn't
knew
do.
he was gonna be good.
No, because he had like the weird haircut and like
Maybe
beard.
it's just the video that you saw.
I think it was because he kind of does this. Again, podcasters at home, you can't really see this, or listeners, sorry. He kind of holds a finger up to the camera and just stares at you in the eye, and then just plays some amazing
Yeah.
piece. And it's like
Like he could
yeah.
play Flight of the Bumblebee.
to the speed of that
Yeah,
it is.
without even looking at his hands.
Yeah. But anyway, to transfer into today's podcast, we Cailey and I, mainly Cailey, came up with a lot of stories to tell, and then we kind of just forgot them all.
Yeah.
But we're here now, and we remembered
We're
a lot
back.
of injuries. I know I've talked about my ankle, so I won't bother you guys with that. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
All right.
So, when I was younger, I broke my wrist. But how I broke my wrist, you ask? No one asked. Not even Ed.
How did you break your wrist?
Thank
Cailey?
you. So, one day I was out in the backyard with my grandpa, and he was watering all of his bushes and stuff like that. And I don't know why, but I decided to stand on the hose. And like since I was little and didn't weigh that much, like he just thought like the hose was like caught on something. So like I felt him like tug at it a little bit. And like obviously I was on it so it wasn't moving. So he just like rips it cuz like he didn't look back to
Yeah.
see me. And like I fly backwards and I
Did you go
break
like
my
sideways
wrist.
or backwards or I mean you just said backwards, but
You know,
like I would assume if you're standing on it like that, it's running
I don't really
perpendicular to
know,
the way you're
honestly.
facing.
I don't really know.
Yeah. But you broke your wrist.
Yeah, broke it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all the doctors thought it was child abuse. So like that was fun.
Oh, that's
And
unfortunate.
then another time I broke my other wrist playing volleyball. And I don't know why, but I was wearing like Uggs.
Uggs to play volleyball.
Yeah, and we were outside and it was really dusty because my school had like a horse corral, I guess. Not like it wasn't ours, but like right the person that was like next to our school
Yeah.
had them. So like dust would blow onto the court. And like so it was like really dusty and like obviously didn't have traction already with my fucking Uggs.
It's fine.
So I fall backwards, fall like with my hands like straight behind me,
Ooh.
and like it hurt really bad. So like I go sit down for like a few minutes and I'm like, it's fine. So I get back up and I go play again. And then I come home and I'm like complaining to my mom about it. And she like wraps it up in like you know those medical
I
bandages
think I have one
things?
under my bed for my ankle.
Yeah, she wraps it in one of those. And then the next day like I honestly wasn't thinking that it was broken at all. And then like I get called out of class and like I'm like, where are we going? And she's like, oh, we're getting it x-rayed and it's broken.
Wow.
So
Any other broken bones, or have you been pretty lucky? Or?
oh well, another family member broke my foot. At my 13th birthday party, my cousin and I were trying to like do this really cool gymnastics trick, even though neither of us were in
It's
gymnastics.
like a roly-poly.
And we were trying to do a cartwheel like at the same time, but we ended up like running into each other. So like she like kicks my foot really hard somehow. And like I just fall to the ground and first I start laughing, but then it kind of starts going into like
It's like every young kid ever has had that, whether it's the laughter, and then it doesn't even stop. It just the sadness starts coming in.
yeah, it
And
definitely
then it's
was
just crying.
exactly that. And then it was just rough. Like I didn't realize it was broken then either. Wrapped it up, was on crutches for a while. And then we found out that it was broken and I had to wear this god awful boot. Like it wasn't even a
Wow.
full on boot. It
Imagine
was just
a boot.
No, it wasn't a boot though. It was a shoe. Like a boot without the ankle part. So it just looked so dumb. Like my entire foot wasn't even in it. It was like it was really weird
Yeah.
the way that it looked and it was just
Damn.
and I started getting like back problems because like the boot was like really high up and
That was me when I had my ankle. It was only like a couple of inches, but I would
yeah.
when I was walking around, I definitely like standing around. This leg, which wasn't injured, would kind of hyperextend. And that's my right leg again
Yeah.
for those of you who can't see. But yeah, actually, I've only ever broken one bone
Really?
that I'm aware of. I've probably broken my toes a lot. I've stubbed them so many times. I'm very clumsy.
Disgusting.
And I know I've broken them a bunch of times, but I definitely broke it once because it's got to have been it must have been my left, because the way we lived in England, in one of the houses we lived in, it was like a 3-story house, but it was like pretty narrow.
Uh-huh.
And so the bottom floor was like a kitchen, the entrance to the garage, and I think that might have even been it. And then you had like the living room and a couple of bedrooms there, and then it was Lewis and my bedroom. And we're on the second floor and watching TV, and my mum and dad were like, "Go tidy your room, like you haven't tidied it in ages." And like as a little kid, it's like, God, tidy my room, like that's the worst thing. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Just shove it all under your bed.
Oh yeah,
And
or
then
like in
act
the wardrobe or
surprised when,
something,
like,
and they
your
find it, and you're like, how did that get there? I swear I organized it. The dog, what?
or like you say you cleaned it and like you really didn't, and then they're like, okay, like I'm gonna come check, and then
You're
you're
like,
just
no,
like,
no, 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 I'm
oh,
good, I'm
okay.
good. Yeah, no. So I storm upstairs after being asked so many times, and like, this mustn't have been good for my track record for them to take this long, but I walk up the stairs, and immediately to the right is my bedroom door, and I run in my room and just slap my little toe into the wall,
Oh.
and it was at a right angle to the rest of my toes. Like the last toe just kind of dropped off to the side, like fell on its face, and I just fell down and just started crying because I was like 12 years old or whatever. I think I was even younger. But I was crying for like 30 minutes. I was like, "Mom, I broke my toe." Mom, like crying. I'm like, "Stop doing such a fuss just because you have to go like tidy your room." And I was like, "No, this is ridiculous." Like 30 minutes, I swear. My mum comes up the stairs finally, like looking really angry, and I'm like, "Oh, she's gonna shout at me." And then, oh, there's my timer. But Rye guy's got it. Ryan's on it. Um, but anyway,
Stagehand.
the what? The stagehand. But yeah, so my mum comes up. She's like, looks at me. She's looking angry. I'm like sitting there, like basically dying with a little toe, because that's obviously the worst injury you can get. Um, and she kind of looks at me, and then she looks at my little toe. She's like, "Let me see it." And I didn't even look at this point. I don't think I was looking, and I just see her face go, "Tim, can you come up here a sec?" And my dad kind of comes up like 2 minutes later, and he's like, "Oh, that's not great, Ed. Like, does it hurt?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you move it?" I'm like, "I don't think so." And my mom just goes, "We're just gonna take you to the doctors, to hospital, just to like check it out." Like they obviously know it's broken,
Mhm.
and they're just trying to keep me calm. I'm loving this though, because like 2 weeks before at school, I remember this is like I was in year 6, which I think is fifth grade, fifth or seventh grade. I think it's fifth grade though.
It's probably 7th.
No, because my brother was in year 6, and then he came over here and he was in sixth grade. So I think it's fifth grade.
12. I was
I
10
was
in
not
5th
12.
grade.
I was not 12. That was just
Oh,
a
okay.
guess. um, but yeah, so I was in like fifth grade equivalent for America, year 6 in England, and some kid, or maybe I was in year 5. Sorry, I'm changing the story, but I'm
It's
figuring it out as
okay.
I go along. I think I was in year 5, and some year 6 kid had some crutches, and the crutches
Oh.
are different in England. In fact, I don't know if you guys can see, like right behind me, there's some crutches from when I had my ankle. But like over here, they kind of in America they go under your armpit, right? You kind of
Mhm.
rest your armpit. In England, they kind of come around your
Yeah.
bicep. But some kid had these crutches. It's the coolest thing ever. Everyone loves trying out crutches as a kid.
Yeah.
You just go super fast on them for 5 minutes and then you're done. And that's why it's fun, because you only do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctors. They buddy taped it like to the other toe. That hurt. Not gonna lie, that hurt. From what I remember, like they just kind of moved it up and taped it.
Ugh.
And
Do they
like
have to like set it?
I think so, yeah. And I don't really remember, but I just remember being like, "Can I get crutches?" I would have been fine to walk for sure. It was just a broken little toe, and they're like, "Yeah, sure." Like we got some crutches from like my grandma's house or something. I went to school. I thought I was the coolest kid in the school. Look at me in crutches.
But one what you didn't have?
A
A
bu-
wheelchair.
You had a wheelchair?
No.
Oh,
But that would have been
that
dope.
would have been sick. Or like one of the motorized ones, like
There would be nothing more baller.
then showing up in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like in like nowadays, like when I had the crutches now, I didn't really like it. Like people are like, "Oh, what happened?" I'm like, jumped down some stairs and didn't stick the landing like an idiot. But um, but anyway, like I went to school. I had crutches for one day. Then my parents were like, "You're not doing this anymore. You don't need them." And I didn't, and I just carried on walking. But like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then flash forward to today, or well, not today, about 3 or 4 months ago, when I actually had to get crutches for my ankle, and it was just not as fun as I remember.
Yeah. They
S-
hurt a
It's
lot.
so much effort, and you get like the like rash here from it, and it was not cool. Not gonna lie, preferred having them when I was in 5th grade.
I bet. I feel
Yeah.
like it would be easier to with the ones that like wrap around
Yeah,
your
they kind
arm.
of just come up there and they still stabilize you, but you just don't have that like armpit thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm trying to think of where we can even go from here.
Well, like when you were telling me about how your mom was kind of just ignoring you for a while.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Sorry, Mum.
a few years ago, my brother was like playing with our dog, and she was just like a puppy at the time. So like she was like nippy and stuff like that. She was
Yeah.
in that like bite stage where she wanted to like chew on everything. And we were about to leave the house, and my brother was like messing with the dog, and the dog bites his ear, and, and like he starts complaining about it, and like we're just like, you're being over dramatic,
Yeah.
like shut up,
You
like
just
we
see an
gotta
ear on
go.
the floor. You're like,
And like we look at him, and like he's just like bleeding like through his ear. I'm like, we all look at it, and we're just like, oh my god. Like it was fine. Like it wasn't
yeah,
like a big, like he didn't need stitches
no,
or
yeah,
anything. It was just like because
because
his
it's
ear
your
bled or
extremities.
what.
Yeah.
But yeah. that
Oh, I
reminded
tell
me
you
of
what,
it.
that actually does remind me of something that happened over the summer. So I've surprisingly, I've never like broken my nose or anything.
Mhm.
I've never really had any like issues where I've like had a nosebleed seriously.
Yeah.
But this summer, where I live, there's like a pool just down the road. And all the houses there get like access to it. And it's probably like a 13-meter pool. Like it's not like a full size, but it's
Mhm.
like pretty close. And I was in the hot tub. We had family from England over, my auntie and uncle and cousins, and we're all in the hot tub. And I'm like, I'm gonna dive in, swim underwater there and back.
Mhm.
And they're like, no way. Dive in, swim underwater there, and I'm on my way back. And this was not a great experience for me. I'm gonna be real. This literally probably 3 weeks before, no, 4 weeks I think, 3 or 4 weeks before week of welcome, and it
Oh.
still hurt during week of welcome. So like it was, and so basically what happened was, as I was almost at the end, I was kind of running out of breath. So I pulled as hard as I could to like get there. So my hands are by my side, and I'm like parallel with the ground, like going. My brother decides it would be a great idea to scare me
Mhm.
and decides to jump in. And so he jumps in, but
Oh.
must have kind of turned. So he was facing the same direction as me.
Mhm.
So his heels were by my
Yeah, yeah,
nose.
yeah.
And he jumps in and misses me as I decide to pull, and then his heel comes like he like jumps as hard as he can. I had my eyes closed. I had no clue what was about to happen. And he just jumps up, and that's immediately like I was like, red flag, something's wrong. I jump out as I'm exhaling through my nose. I open my eyes and there's just blood everywhere, like within
I can't.
2 seconds. And I get out and it was kind of sick. Like honestly, it looked like something in an action movie. Like I look down, I'm sitting in a chair, and there's just like blood all over my chest, like all over my face. And I felt bad though because my cousins were there,
Mhm.
who are like 4 and I should really know their age, but like 4 and 5, 6, that age. Now I feel really guilty that I don't know.
No.
But anyway, um, so like my mom just kind of comes up to me and like shoves a towel in my face and just covers me up. And like I was fine. Like normally like stuff like that. Like when I did my ankle, like I didn't even come like close to like tearing up or anything, like choking up. But in that moment, your nose like I like couldn't like move without like it hurting, and I was fine. I like was all absolutely fine. Then like after a while, like when I got home, I just kind of like broke down. Like
Yeah.
my whole like the adrenaline just went, and I was just like, and just completely it was awful.
I'm really glad you brought up that story because it reminded me of like one of the craziest stories I've ever experienced. Like I didn't experience it, someone else did. It's not that crazy. It's not that wild.
That was right up to the peak of this is the craziest story I've ever experienced. To this is a somewhat average story that I didn't experience, but I'm
Sorry.
still excited.
I was there. Like
Okay, yeah. So you experienced it.
yeah. So one night, I think it was sophomore year, cause only one of my friends had their driver's license, and like they had just gotten in. And we were like, oh my god, so fun. And everyone came to my house. So it was like probably about 7 of us. And my house had a trampoline and like a fire pit, which the fire pit doesn't have that much to do with the story, but like we were just having a fun time. Like we were
Yeah.
roasting marshmallows, stuff like
Context.
that. And then we went on the trampoline, like a bunch of us. Actually, maybe like 5. Not everyone was on the trampoline. And so this one of my friends was like jumping. And he was like, do you think I should do a front flip? Do you think I should do a front flip? And he's probably about as tall as you. Like, he's pretty tall.
I've got a really good story after this. I've just remembered. Oh my god.
And so he's jumping, and we're like, yeah, do a front flip. And so, like, he starts to do the front flip, but, like, when he tucks, he brings his knees up to his face and, like, hits himself in the nose, and you can hear it.
No.
Like, you could just hear the and, like, he comes down, and it's just gushing blood.
Did he land the front flip at least?
I think he did.
That's kind of sick, not gonna lie.
And it's just gushing blood, and like we look at him and he's like, I'm fine, and we're like, no, I think it's broken. And so we come into the house and like we look in the light and his nose is crooked, like completely crooked. And I'm the type of person where like when stuff like that happens, like I feel like an asshole, but like I can't help but laugh.
Oh, it's so funny.
So I instantly start laughing. And he's like freaking out. He's like, call my mom. Like, I want my mom here right now. Like,
how old is he at this point? Are you guys?
We're like 15, 16. And like, my mom's trying to help him, like, and giving him like a towel to hold to his face. And he's just like yelling at people. Like, he's like, get away from me, blah, 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 blah. And my mom's like, calm down. Like, it's okay. Like, we're going to figure this out. And so, like, my mom tells one of the friends to like drive him to his house, like drive him to the hospital first, but then like on the way there they like stopped at like his house, like to talk to his parents, and like then they drove to the hospital. And my mom comes out pissed because she only thought I was gonna have like 2 or 3 friends over, but it ended up being like 7 or 8 of us. She was like, why were you on the trampoline? Like, why was there a fire? Like, so much could have happened. Like, you guys could have like we could get, like, his parents could sue us, blah, blah, blah. His parents didn't sue us. Like, they were really chill about it. And, like, I felt really bad that he broke his nose. Well, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So, like, she drives everyone home, and, like, she makes me go to the hospital and, like, sit there with him. And we wait for, like, 4 hours. We don't get home until, like, 2 a.m. And, like, it was just...
Oh, so it was dark outside when he actually, like, injured himself. Oh.
And then, like, my mom was really mad at me. And then to this day, his nose is still crooked.
No way.
Yeah, he was supposed to get surgery, but I don't know why they never, like...
So when it happened to my nose, I still don't know if this is correlated, but, like, to this day, something feels, like, wrong with my eyesight. Like, I've got it checked out by every single opticianist, whatever, like, optician, doctor, optometrist. Yeah, all of those. But, like... when I'm, like, looking now, like, obviously there's a light on us, but, like, it feels like there's a shadow here. And when I close my eyes, it's because of, like, the silhouette of my nose. But I think it's because it moved, like, a millimeter. Like, the slightest movement.
Weird.
But, like, it seems to, like, my body's not used to it.
Yeah.
But, talking of trampolines, Lewis Karen, or William Lewis Karen, if you're still listening, or if you're somehow listening, and you remember me from high school or middle school, you told me a story. I still don't know to this day if it's true, but it's honestly one of the most horrendous stories I've ever heard. And he was bouncing on a trampoline, he said. Like, I don't know how this could be possible. He said he was in boxers, him and his friend in boxers, just jumping around. Probably a hot summer's day, like 60 degrees outside Fahrenheit. It's really warm, everyone's loving it. And he said they were bouncing on the trampoline. And, like, his friend had done a flip, he'd done a flip. And, you know when you bounce right before someone and you shoot them up?
You double bounce them.
Yeah. So he did that, but somewhere in the confusion of, like, the springs being really extended and elongated, he claims to have got his scrotum stuck in between the springs. And he said it was literally the most painful thing he's ever had in his life.
I don't see how that would be possible.
I wouldn't have thought so, but, like, it wouldn't take a lot, to be fair. If someone's just standing in the middle, there's gaps.
So the guy that double bounced the other guy.
I don't know exactly how. I just know that at some point his nutsack got stuck in the
I mean,
trampoline
I
spring.
guess it could happen.
And he said thank God it wasn't one of his balls, because that would have been instant death. Or you would have just combusted on the spot. But like, to get that just trapped in a trampoline spring,
sounds rough.
I cannot imagine the pain that it would cause. But yeah.
Wow.
Be safe on trampoline, kids. Be safe
Yeah.
on the trampoline.
The next day, my mom made me like go out with like barbicide.
What's barbicide?
It's like a really effective like.
Oh, it's like green, right, or something, or blue?
Yeah, it's like blue. I think they have green ones though.
Yeah. Oh,
She made me clean it all. Like there was so much blood on there. Cause she was like he might have diseases that he doesn't even know about.
Sorry, we've had some technical difficulties. Apparently, the iPhone stopped recording because we're using an iPhone.
Wow.
We're running a little bit of a low budget setup here.
The production value is 0.
Yeah, pretty much. But someone didn't let us use their camera.
Oh.
But I won't say who, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. No beef here.
No
but
beef. We're vegetarians.
We're vegetarians. Well, I'm not. Ryan is. Rye guy in the background.
Really?
Shout out to Ryan.
Wow.
Saving the cows, the chickens. Not the fish though, right? You fish? You can eat fish. Fish is good for the brain.
Is it for Lent? Oh.
No.
Never mind.
We like to make fun of Ryan sometimes. Not like in a mean way.
Wait, have you
just
always been a vegetarian? When did you start being a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but like Ryan's very, very healthy, which is like is not a bad thing. But
yeah.
Cole, the other roommate who lives in this bed that you guys can't see if you're not watching, but Cole, who lives in that bed, and I are incredibly unhealthy. And I'm lucky, like I have a really fast metabolism, so I can eat whatever I want, which is very lucky. But we god awful food. But like we'll eat like pop tarts. I'm sure you know what they are if you're in England. But like we make fun of Ryan because he has like Pop Tarts without the frosting on.
My grandma buys those.
we think it's the funniest thing ever. But like this, it's just being healthy.
But that doesn't make it healthy.
No, yeah, that's true.
Pop Tarts are probably so bad for you.
Yeah, but the sweet like glazing on the top is so good. I think.
I could probably eat like half a Pop Tart.
Really?
Yeah.
I eat 2 at a time
for
free. Not for free. I don't know why I said
for free.
That. For free.
2 for free.
4 for free. Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any last minute stories before we conclude?
No.
Damn.
Stay safe on trampolines.
Yeah, don't just wear tight underwear.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. All right, well, thank you guys. I didn't even like show you guys that this is my dorm room. An obsessive amount of monitors. It's pretty messy. Yeah.
Figured that out.
I would hope so. This is not Cailey's room, nor is it Cailey's show anymore.
I think it will always be my show, though.
Hey, whatever's gonna help you sleep, given that it is 11:47 at night.
I'm gonna
eat. I'm just looking. I'm like every time I've looked at the camera, I've kind of just been thinking about the fridge, because there's a sandwich in there, and I'm excited to eat that and take an antibiotic for my sinus infection, because apparently Ed just cannot.
Is shit.
Tell me about it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I don't know how much of the recording didn't get it, but we'll try and figure it out in the post edit. Thank you, Cailey, for joining.
Anytime.
Shout out to Ryan in the background, technical support. Stay safe on trampolines, guys. Seriously, it's very scary. All right.
And on hoses.
And
doing cartwheels with your cousin.
And cleaning your room, for that matter.
Yep.
All right.
How do you...
Thank you very much for listening. See you next week. Bye-bye.